Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to On Blast with MG. I'm MG, your host, and today we're going to show you guys how to install the towers for the Gamiviti Expo roof rack. So I just purchased a roof rack from Gamiviti.com. They focus mainly on roof racks for Toyota vehicles, Land Cruisers, GXs, all sorts of different products that help you to modify your vehicle to be able to take it over land. So on my vehicle, which is a GX460 Lexus 2017, my vehicle has channels going from front to back on each side of the vehicle. So for my particular vehicle, I will be able to use the channel mounts. So these are the channel towers that are going to go in the channels, and are going to support my roof rack. Other vehicles like the I used to have a FJ92. They have rain rail towers for that vehicle. So anyways, go check them out, Gamiviti.com. So what you'll need to install your Gamiviti rack to your Lexus GX460 are some simple tools. You're going to need a 9/16 wrench, an 11mm wrench, an adjustable wrench, and then a hex a tool. You're also going to need to get some clear silicone to seal the holes. And then of course you're going to have your towers. So there's a really nice nifty picture on the Gamiviti website and shows you kind of how to put together your towers. So from front, these are the front towers, the middle towers, and the back towers are right here. So, and the whole shebang comes with all the nuts and bolts that you're going to be needing to install your rack and your towers. So we're going to go ahead and get started and show you guys how to do it. So basically there are 6 attaching points on the GX460, 2 in the front and 4 towards the back. So here's the front one. I have gone ahead and taped them up because my rack wasn't coming right away, so I needed to make sure moisture doesn't get in there. But there's 1 point. Here is the second one, and then the third is right here on this side, and there are 3 more on the other side. So let's go ahead and get this work underway, and we'll show you guys how to do it. Alright guys, so we're on top of the roof, and we brought with us our most forward rack, tower, our hex, our nuts, and the silicone. Okay, so first things first, we're going to take off the tape that I put on there, because that is no longer necessary. And underneath you will find the mounting holes, which have a cute little, neat little plastic little sleeve. You want to make sure you don't want to press down on that too much, because that is going to, you're going to lose that inside of your vehicle frame, and there goes that. So make sure you are be really careful with that. It's not that fragile, but just don't be pressing down on it too much. Okay, so I'm going to put the camera down so you guys could see the work. There we go. Let me make sure we got everything. We're good. Okay. So what you want to do is take your tower and place it down, and you want to be in the front. So you want to place it as forward as you can. So the first hole, then the middle is empty, and then the third hole you'll see the screw hole, and then there's 1 extra spot here at the back that's going to be empty. Okay, so that's where you want to put down your rack. But before you put down your rack and start screwing it down, you're going to put a bead of this silicone right inside the hole. All right. So there you go. That's going to seal it nice and tight. There we go. Okay, so you got that bead of silicone right in there, and then you're ready to start bolting down your tower. Alright guys, so this is what you'll need to start bolting down your tower. Your kit comes with some of these rubber washers. that are going to go down against your car. But first, what you're going to do is grab your bolt. You're going to grab your washer, stick your bolt through the washer and through the first. So these long washers, there's two. There's the plastic rubber covered washers on the bottom, and there's these long rectangle-like washers. So take the rectangle-like washer, stick it through the bolt, stick it through your tower. All right, and we'll get that down in there. And then put the washer on, and then do the same thing. Well, let's put the washer on at the end, and we'll do the same thing with the other. So you're going to the second hole right here. First, get your washer down, and then get your bolt through, just like that. I don't know if you can see that. So we're going to get them down through there. They're both in position. And you want to be in a symmetrical position on these washers. Okay, then we're going to get our rubber washers down with the rubber side down so it goes against the car. And then we're going to stick these down in here. All right. Okay, so when we put them down in there, you can start tightening them. We don't want to get these tightened to the actual load, and also make sure your tower is angled inwards, and then with this top portion coming outwards, okay? So you gotta have some space, guys. This is not a small item. It's fully boxed in a wooden container. So it's not small, that's for sure. We're gonna have to drop it off right here on the street, right across from my truck. And installation is gonna have to happen right over here. All right, so get ready for the unboxing. All right, everybody. So we got all the towers installed, front, middle, and back. And again, we left them not fully tightened, but not loose, just hand tightened, so that we can put our rack on top of them and then begin to tighten everything up. So my rack is right across the street. This is how it comes, in a nice big wooden pallet, so it's really well protected. But probably also a real nice pain to get that thing open. So, all right, so the box itself, which is that monstrosity right across the street, which I need to get rid of somehow. So the box comes with all of the installation hardware, which are basically nuts and bolts and washers that you're going to need to attach your rack to the towers. So here's a rack, and here's the tower, and this is kind of how it sits on it. Let's show you guys that. And we just got to align all of these holes with on the same on each side, so the same on the passenger with the driver's side, But before you do any of that, you got to make sure you get clearance. So you got to move this rack into position, and you get clearance when you open your GX460 back window. Okay, so when you open this, you got to move the rack so that it's not touching your car. So this is fully open, so use that as a guide, and you want to have a little bit of gap there between your car and your rack. So once you get that opened and aligned, then you could start putting your bolts through. So it's going to be two bolts per plate right here. So each it's going to be held down by 2 bolts. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 bolts total. And you're going to again symmetrically align. So you're going to symmetrically align your rack so that it is the same on each side. And if you do that, then the rack itself will be perfectly aligned. All right, so we're going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll get back to you when we're all done. Another thing to note real quick, the rack comes really nicely protected, obviously. So this is the side that was down in the box, and it's protected really nice and well with these foam pool noodles. So, you know, the rack itself came with 0 scratches on it. The only thing that I have to deal with is that box right over there. And you can see it's got a nice opening for the sunroof. Looks all good. All right, so let's go ahead and tighten this thing down. Alright guys, it's 4:30. Started this about 2:30 I'd say, so 2 hours and we're done. The rack is in place. The last thing I gotta do is tighten these bolts right here. That's after you do that, after you align it. It's all good, and then you tighten it. But it's on, it's solid. I mean, I could stand up on that thing right now. The back clears. As you can see, it opens, and there you go, fully open. And it just has, you know, maybe a half an inch or so in between the window and the rack. So it's all done. That was definitely a beast, but it's worth it. The next thing I gotta do is attach the front wind deflector that will go right there. But the big job is finished. The rack is on, and I gotta say, it looks pretty nice. Let's get a view from back here. There we go. Looks like a really nice solid rack. It's gonna have a nice, be able to have a nice tent, rooftop tent right on top. That's coming tomorrow, so we're gonna have to wrestle with that thing tomorrow as well. Let's take a look from the top. There you go. The sunroof opening is right there. So the sunroof is still fully functional. All the bolts, very symmetric. Everything is where it should be. All right, that's it.